The long wait is over, the summer is gone, the best leagues in the land are back.
It's time to raise the game.
Dream team have travelled north of the border to the home of Scottish rugby. We are in the capital of the country, in the shadow of one of the most historic stadiums in world rugby. Murrayfield looks upon us, but we are here at the Hive for a bit of history as the Women's BUCS Super Rugby League is launched. And we are opening with the defending champions Hartpury University here in Edinburgh against Edinburgh University. It is a mouth-watering prospect to open the season, to open a new era, and bringing together two finalists from 3 years ago who did battle for the cup at Six Ways. Now, the teams have been through their rigorous warm-ups, but the coaches have had one or two things to say. I caught up with Claire Cruikshank of Edinburgh University and Andrew Ford of Hartpury before the action commences. Amazing to finally be up at Edinburgh to be broadcasting not a Women's National League game, but a Women's BUCS Super Rugby game. So, first time the camera's up here, but also the inaugural match of the new season, the new competition.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's been a few years in the making, hasn't it, to get to Super Rugby. So, yeah, it's really exciting. And for us in Edinburgh as well, to have our first home live stream game by BUCS, and for it to be the first Women's BUCS Super Rugby game is really, really cool and really special for us.
I mean, Edinburgh University plays such a massive role in Scottish rugby, Scottish age group rugby. You've been involved with WXV, with the Scottish Seniors Camp. Tell us, how does Edinburgh Uni feed into the bigger Scottish picture?
Yeah, I think it's a pathway now. It's a genuine pathway for players. You know, they come out of age grade under 18. They want to study at a university. Edinburgh's high on their priority list. So, you know, we get some very good players coming our way, and they feed into the Scotland 20s and then feed into the national team. And there's a huge number of players involved with the Scotland national team who've come through this pathway at the moment.
So they're the players who come through the pathway, but we've got a lot of excitement. We can see them warming up behind you. Tell us about the current crop, the new girls that you're unleashing on the league this season.
Yeah, we've got a few new players. There's a couple of girls again come from the under 18 pathway. Emily Kubra, number 8. She's young, but she's really dynamic, got great skills. Yeah, and probably just go back to our captain Hannah Walker in our later years at university, but someone who's really grown over the last few years to become a real leader. So we're excited to see her go on the wing. Okay,
finalists 3 seasons ago, tougher season last year, and that's probably a testament to the direction where the league's going, the competitiveness. What is the ambition this year for Edinburgh?
Look, I think it's hard. The competition's getting better every year, isn't it? And anyone can beat anyone, and that's what we saw last year, and that's the beauty of the university game, is someone can be super strong one year and the next year, you know, as a different person. Obviously, big challenge for us today against Hartpury, 3 times champions, but there's no better way to start, is there? Like, test yourself against the best and then see where you are.
Perfect. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Great to see you as ever, and great to see Hartpury, particularly for the first game of the season. Long summer that you've had to wait, and now you're here, the champions, but also in Super Rugby. It's now Women's BUCS Super Rugby. How does that feel?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting, the brand that's been given to us this year. I think hopefully it's another step forward, especially in the women's game. And look, it's been an exciting league now for the last couple of years, and hopefully with this it gets a little bit more exposure, and people can really start to see some of the talent that are in this group.
A lot of talent in this group, a lot of talent from Hartpury, full stop. You've got loads that are in the England squad tomorrow that have been through the Hartpury system, and I guess it puts you under a bit of strain as well, you know, resource-wise and player-wise, because you've got so many people wanting a bit of the red jersey in their team.
Yeah, I think you heard it in a lot of the interviews from some of the other coaches in the media day. I think it's a challenge now around squad depth. I think I've said before, I used about 53 players last year in the first team. So look, again, that strain, that the reason some of these girls have done so well and been called into WXV squads and PWR squads is amazing, but it gives opportunity, doesn't it, for girls today. And look, I'm not expecting a particularly polished version of the girls today. What I'm expecting them is to really kind of work on those tangibles that we talk about and have that little bit of passion about them and show why Hartpury is such a special place to be at.
So, little bit of passion, little bit of precision. Is any pressure? 3-time champions now.
Well, I lost my first game last year, so I don't know. I think someone said to me the other day that the result of this game doesn't go on the trophy at the end of the year. So, which we'd love to win this game, but I think for this it's just about getting the stepping stones really for this group of girls. First time playing together, loads of new debutants. Like I said, let's see how they come out. But I'll be happy if they can put some of those tangibles in place, and if we play some good rugby along the way, I'll be really happy. And then it gives us a kind of a good stepping stone going into the season.
Lovely stuff. Go well out there.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
The words of Claire Cruikshank and Andrew Ford, both looking to mastermind a tilt at the title in the inaugural year of Women's BUCS Super Rugby. I'm Joe Burns, and I'm delighted to say alongside me for this slice of history is BUCS Super Rugby and Loughborough legend and now a man of Edinburgh, James Gallagher.
It's great to be here. Obviously, as you say, been involved in BUCS Super Rugby for a while now. It's just great to see it transition over to the women's side.
Yeah, look, let's just touch on it very quickly because we're going to have a lot of new viewers, a lot of new families taking interest, vested interest often. What is it about BUCS Super Rugby? Why is it different? Why is it the elevator for university rugby?
I think it's the platform that days like this provide. It's the competitiveness. All the teams raise their game in the men's side, and I just think it's just that opportunity for players to be seen by PWR clubs, by Celtic Challenge clubs, and it's going to be a very exciting season for all involved.
Well, there you have it. The women in red, the team to beat the 3-time champions. No other university have had their hands on the cup in the history of the competition. But Claire Cruikshank got so close 3 years ago when she led Edinburgh University to that final. There is a sharing of the captaincy with Hannah Walker and Poppy Fletcher. Hannah Walker being captain and Rhea Clark and Poppy Fletcher being the vice captains. Whilst you can see right there, there's a lot of talent on the bench too. We'll come to the Hartpury side shortly, but it's a drop ball early from Josie Fubista, wearing the 13 jersey, who's represented Scotland at under 18 level. And you see a few heavy carries and an unceremonious dumping as well. Charlie Manns, who was player of the final a couple of years ago, in at 10. Probably long-time viewers have seen her in the 12 jersey a bit more. She's been charged with more of a leadership role this season. And she's on the ball now, looking to pick a pass and finding a big runner in Evie Addy.
I think we're seeing early a lot of Hartpury's DNA here. They're always big and strong in the forwards, and these carries, as it's been shown here.
Bursting through, Sophie McQueen beats the last woman. That's the first try in women's BUCS Super Rugby history.
As I said, that's sort of just classic Hartpury there. As you mentioned, Charlie Manns back for third or fourth season involved in this Hartpury setup. I think she's probably been one of the most consistent players throughout the Women's National League period, and their 3 titles. So her at 10 pulling the strings will be vital to their challenge this season. And obviously she's got that experience of being involved in the PWR up at the weekend for Gloucester Hartpury.
There she is. She's on limited minutes today as she works her way back from a grade 3 ankle injury after an awkward landing coming down from a line-out against Exeter last season, but wasting no minutes in making her mark on the scoreboard. Hartpury lead 7 points to 0 with barely 60 seconds on the clock for the opening score to come. Edinburgh look to pin Hartpury back, and that is a streaky old kick that's going to work well for Hannah Walton. Claims it and carries. Edinburgh with a chance to respond immediately. Logan gets clattered by a big left shoulder in red. Bit of width being offered by Edinburgh Two hands on the ball, ask questions of the defence. And Edinburgh probe down the short side again. Good continuity. Challenging the Hartpury defence, but that's a good hit from Georgia Battersill.
Again, potentially playing into Hartpury's hands here. They love that physical confrontation, so if they can look to get wide, they may have an opportunity to really challenge this Hartpury pack.
Still, Edinburgh retain possession. The meters are tough to come by, but they are coming. Just a loss of footing from Rhea Clark, one of the experienced players in white out there for Edinburgh. Logan goes again, Feld just a couple meters shy. Clark looks for another big runner, but she gets wrapped up by the red tentacles. The try scorer McQueen involved in the challenge. A chance for width once again. Missed ball on the bounce. So often can be the undoing of defences, but it's really well watched by Hartpury in their defence. A dart back inside from Hannah Ramsey. Penalty Hartpury, they survive.
As I say, I think Hartpury have become comfortable in those sorts of positions over the last few years. The final last year, we saw a lot of strong defensive stands to them against a strong Loughborough side. So it'll be interesting to see how they cope today, because Edinburgh certainly will pose them challenges.
We saw the carry from Hannah Ramsey there, who's one of many who've either represented Scotland 18s or 20s, and for Ramsey and a few choice individuals, they've been involved with the senior squad, helping them prepare for their trip to South Africa for WXV, which is coming up not too long away. The women's side playing here tomorrow against Fiji, but at the moment it's all eyes on Hartpury, and it's red alert, but it's snuffed out by a brilliant hit from Hannah Walker.
Interestingly, Gemma Bell, who made the break there, is another one who's been involved in the Scotland systems. Played for Edinburgh in the Celtic Challenge last year, so she's one that we've certainly had our eye on up here, trying to pry her away from the grips of 40 at Hartpury.
A tough task.
Yeah, not an easy challenge at all, that one.
Alicia Smith, local Gloucester lass from Drybrook, gets a carry at prop, and there's a bit of room out here, and Becca Jackson's on the ball, and she's linking up with Lowry Davis. But the move comes to an end, just on the outskirts of the 22. Man's beautiful manipulation of the ball, but the chop on Liv Constable is so good, just when Hartpury were looking to pierce through the white wall. Mans, width, try time. Oh, it was begging for the back row, but Erin Bradley's hands weren't up to the pass from Gemma Bell.
Mans is already showing her quality and experience here today. I think, as I mentioned earlier, she's going to be key to Hartpury's challenge, and she's certainly displaying that so far.
Wow, they look deadly when they get the ball in hand, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. That offloading game, the strong carries from the forwards, and they've actually got quite a lot of space out wide. Thanks for those strong carries, just sucking that Edinburgh defence in. First scrum, this is something I always like to see. I know you're not as interested, Burnsy.
I'm going to defer to you exclusively for the duration of the match, Gally. Go on then, big talk there, nothing coming.
I think we'll see referees quite keen to reset as often as possible, rather than just giving away a penalty where they're not sure. So whilst Hartpury looked to get the nudge there, they did wheel rather than going forwards. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on this reset.
Some fresh faces in the Hartpury front row. Alicia Smith, Liv Constable and Evie Addy are fresher in 2 second years, but they've got one of the legends of Hartpury BUCS Rugby, Amy Dale, lying in wait on the bench, who is part of the leadership group, no doubt about that. She's the captain this season, but she was involved for Gloucester Hartpury at the weekends, so she's maybe not going to get an opportunity to score a hat-trick of tries, which is what she did in the final a few years ago against Edinburgh.
Yeah, I think she definitely got a couple last year against Loughborough from memory, and if memory serves me correct, she might have even been player of the match in the final. So she's definitely one to look out for when she does grace us with her presence, as you say, involved in the weekend in the PWR up for Gloucester Hartpury. So again, it just sort of highlights the benefit of this new BUCS Super Rugby WBSR, that link between PWR and the university game. It really is sort of the second tier of rugby, and gives the players the opportunity to showcase what they're about.
Extended injury break here for Hartpury, and I think Evie Addy has managed to dust herself down. She's shifted from loose head to tight head this season, identified as the potential to be a bit more destructive in the 3 jerseys opposed to the 1.
That's not as easy as people make it sound. I'm gonna back her up there, so be interesting to see how she goes with this first run out. Yeah, it's pretty solid for Edinburgh there. They've definitely got a stable platform to play from, so they'll be looking to keep that up for the rest of the game.
Well, given a lot of room there, wasn't she, Lucy McRae? And she didn't hesitate to use it, skirting inside the challenge from Gemma Bell too. And Edinburgh have made good ground.
I think if I was there, I'd be looking to exit here. I wouldn't want to be running into that Hartpury brick wall.
Big pressure on the clearance. Finds green grass, but it's so too finds Becca Jackson, a fresher, a product of the Hartpury College system, and showing the flight of foot that we've seen them be so deadly on the ace and the 7 scene in years gone by. Quick service from Nina Wilson. Mans using her feet, then the power, almost sitting down Logan, but she drags her down with her.
Yeah, I really like a fly half that engages the line like Mans does, always poses a question to the fence, and then she can react off them, and that, as we saw earlier, getting offloads away.
The battle at the breakdown is certainly going the way of the champions at the moment. Rhea Clark just politely inquiring what the reasoning was behind that.
That's not like a scrum half to do that, is it?
So out of character.
No, Rhea's going to be key for this Edinburgh team today. She's an experienced player at this level, and has certainly played at a high level as well. Actually played for Glasgow in the Celtic Challenge last year. Played all 7 games, I believe. So she's definitely someone to watch out for today. Definitely a nippy character around the base of the breakdown, and I think has had a good summer with the 20 squad.
Hartpury bring it down and they're sacked immediately. It's really good work from Logan on Lily Terry, who claimed it in the skies. The Hartpury have recycled and now they're carrying through Battersill. Big hit coming in. But Hartpury retain. Mans, head on a swivel. Such a low centre of gravity too. Almost intercepted and, well, intentionally knocked on, depending on what colour jersey you're wearing, watching on from home. But Edinburgh have come away with it.
Stand back up again, please. On stage, yeah? Good. Hold that. Still on, ladies, still on. Yes!
The call use it coming from Lee McQuinney, the referee in the middle today. And Logan continues to show her industrious side. More work for the second row.
Speaking of the officials, I think one of the differences we'll see in Super Rugby this year is that team of 3 at every game, which actually makes a huge impact to the players and the quality of the spectacle. The ref in the middle obviously gets a helping hand from those on the touchline. So yeah, it definitely aids the professionalism of the league and something we should watch out for this year.
Dogged and determined defence from Holly Howland, who chased hard and hung on to her opposite number. This is a welcome bit of respite for Edinburgh, but the big bodies keep on barrelling. Alicia Smith. More work from the woman who's been described to me as a proper Forest of Dean girl. Well, it's a Forest of Edinburgh arms that Hartpury are trying to run through at the moment. Into the hands of Bradley. who spurned an opportunity with the line at her mercy moments ago. Mans, that's smart. Will it get the bounce? Well, it'll find touch, but it'll be an Edinburgh throw.
Yeah, that's really smart from Mans. Again, we're seeing that territory battle. Looks like the referee maybe offering a penalty. Yeah, we go back for a Hartpury penalty in the midfield. I think it was a potential high shot there.
Well, there you go. You're seeing the benefits there of 3 mic'd up referees and assistants working in unison, and these are the kind of strides that take performances and take ambitions of players to that next level. That's the whole purpose of WBSR.
Absolutely, it's just a feel around the environment of that increased professionalism, and we'll definitely see it pay to fruition in hopefully this season, and obviously in the coming years, as we've seen in the men's game over the last 7-8 seasons now.
Wait, if you
It's
take
been
the
that
line
long.
for me, please. Yep, perfect.
Make me feel old.
White's on line. Red, take a step, take a step.
It was only yesterday that I was commentating on you playing, Gally.
White on line.
Yeah,
Red,
I
take a
heard
step.
some of the things you said about me. And
White
I
on
remember
line. Three.
All
Perfect,
friends
hold
now,
that.
though. All friends up here in the commentary
No,
booth.
you're all good.
Yeah, definitely.
Hartpury enjoying the lion's
Advantage.
share of the ball, but they'll turn it over
No advantage.
with a knock on. It was uncomfortable service off the top for Nina Wilson.
White's got.
And Edinburgh will have the put in and a bit of a platform to launch something from near the halfway line.
Yeah, definitely. As we sort of alluded to earlier, this back line's littered with players with national honours. It'll be 18s or 20s, so it'll be exciting to see them with an opportunity and a platform to play off here.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got to get the scrum right first, though.
Bind. Keep that break foot. Set.
But the Edinburgh scrum under some duress, and Lee McQuinney compelled
Not taking
to
the weight,
raise the
not
arm.
I fear I may have cursed them there. That's my fault. But no, definitely strong scrum from Hartpury there. Going forward nice and square, so that's why we see the benefit of the penalty from the referee.
I'm not even entirely sure what he's showing. White here, white mark here. Ladies, white mark there. Thank you. That girl's off the front, please, off the white. There we go. There you go.
Another opportunity for Hartpury here, just to see how their line out goes.
Play that.
And
No!
it's working well aerially. It's a bit of clumsiness on the transfer,
No.
but they've managed
No
to
hands, how you come?
sort of smuggle it back into their grip and conceal it from Edinburgh. But now they go to the back line. Now they bring in Manti,
Advantage.
delays that ball, and the arrival on Becca
Advantage,
Jackson was timely.
advantage.
And now the Hive gets excited because Hannah Walker's on the ball. But she's
Onside.
shut down so quickly.
Back foot.
One of the danger women in this Edinburgh back line. Meaningful carry from Emily Kubra.
No
And
advantage.
Walker won't be set free a second time.
Yeah, I think for Edinburgh it's just about playing in the right areas now. They've tested the edge once, and then after that strong carry, that's
Don't like
potentially a
his
good
play out,
opportunity
but-
to exit. Don't want to give this Hartpury side too many opportunities. We saw the danger of their maul there. That's where Amy Dale has got a lot of her tries over the last few years in a very consistent, very dominant set piece that they've had.
Second.
Yes, talking to
Coach!
Andrew Ford ahead of this fixture,
Bind.
describing some of the merits of the forwards that he's got, and it's safe to say he values set piece
Become.
above maybe the dynamism, maybe the other stuff around the park. I think that's the stuff that
Ladies, far
comes
side from me.
as
Nice
your
and long, please, yeah.
game
Both sides.
progresses, but getting the
Nice and long,
set
thank you.
piece as the cornerstone, especially when you've got the quality of the backs out there led by Charlie Mans. That's really the key
Friendly
for Hartpury.
reminder, no pushing, nice and
That's
stable to
kind
that
of their
ball comes in,
belief
please.
system around the game.
Absolutely, I think you see that reflected in the men's game as well, with the Hartpury side, but not just Hartpury. I think
Crouch.
some of BUCS Super Rugby on the men's side legends. You think of your Fred Davis, your Tom Doughty, boys that scored a lot of tries off the back of really dominant mauls. So we'll probably see that similar in the women's version this season.
No, release! You had the shot, you didn't release. Come on.
A lot of grit and graft in the carry from Poppy Fletcher, who's been seen in back row jerseys in times gone by, so she's quite versatile, but maybe finding her position for the future in the front row.
Clear's good, clear's good.
Again, Edinburgh playing from deep.
Beautiful hands to get it into the hands.
That's fine, it's available.
Of Fubista. And now it's on. It's on for Edinburgh. Slick skills again. And now across the 10. Brilliant blitz from McQueen, who strips in the process. The blitz was too high. Too high. I thought maybe offside.
Time. Take your time.
Tackle needed to come though because Edinburgh were cooking.
Yeah, interesting for Edinburgh there. They definitely found the edge nicely. I think their backs, as we mentioned, are really dangerous. But it'll be good for them off this penalty to get a bit of territory and be potentially able to release them in a more attacking position and see what they can challenge Hartpury with.
At the last minute and your girl slid up into it. We need to be careful. I still need the heights to drop on both sides because it's run about the throat. Yeah.
Just a few words to Charlie Manns to speak to the rest of her team about the height of those tackles. That one from Sophie McQueen, a try scorer who comes with some pedigree, having captained Hartpury and England under 18s as part of her rugby journey.
I think that's another big part of Hartpury's DNA, that ability to transition players through from that under 18 setup into the university setup, and then hopefully into the PWR system. So they've definitely got a good method down there of maintaining players, and it must be a great environment for them all to stay down there.
I thought you were going to say that high tackles was part of their DNA. I was like, that's so Loughborough of you to take that view.
No. I have to be professional now. I can't say some of the stuff I used to get away with. Also, it's Hartpury, it's not Exeter. I'll be saying a lot worse if it was Exeter.
Off your front person,
They've been very reserved so far. Well, so too, the scoring has been reserved. After the fastest of starts from Hartpury and McQueen, the points have dried up. And Edinburgh are growing into the fixture. They lose possession, courtesy of the hands of Molly Bunker.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Edinburgh maintain consistent possession in any dangerous areas so far, apart from early on where Hartpury were able to repel them nicely. So we'll see how they grow into the game and how they manage to look after that ball. It's Hartpury to come through with more dominant carries.
Wonderful line and a beautiful pass picked into the grip of Constable. Now Manns turns Edinburgh around, and the awkward bounce on the 4G almost gets the better of Munson. She recovers well, and now no one's at home down the short side. Edinburgh with a chance to strike, but wonderful strength and commitment from Wilson.
No, you've gone on to body.
Yeah, again, earlier I mentioned you'd like to see Edinburgh exit from their own 22, but they're making it look a bit silly now. They're running it out excellently and winning penalties off the back of it when they turn that Hartpury defence.
Touch miss, but surely knocked on there. Tackle comes in, ball goes wide, and off goes Larry Davis. Davis scything through the Edinburgh defence. Davis still going. But eventually the attack snuffed out by Munson.
Yeah, Davis, an incredibly dangerous player, part of Wales setup, I believe, so she's an exciting one to look out for in the future.
No hands, right!
Hartpury come banging on the Edinburgh door again. Well,
Captain.
But potentially that challenge that came in from Nina Munson was too upright.
You got the mark? Okay. So that's now been a couple, and I've given a couple friendly ones. Yeah, we're too high, and that one was no danger, but exceptional high. I don't have anywhere else to go, so could you get the message across, please? Thank you very much. I have a warning, then I'll put time on, okay?
Referee just having a word with Hannah Walker there.
Ladies, good for
A few
time on.
penalties given away by Edinburgh now,
Captain's
and
good.
there's been a few consistent high
Time on.
tackles, so it'll be interesting
Aye.
to see how they react to that. Don't want to give away a yellow card at this stage in the game. It could be a real tide changer.
Where are you? Where are you? Okay, hey. White marks there, good.
Into the corner, Hartpury go again.
metres, ladies, 10
Edinburgh have
metres.
been a match to them at the maul
10
to this
metres.
point. But they won't need to be on this occasion, because for the first time,
Oh, offside.
the ball doesn't find its jumper,
Oh,
but
back line's
Edinburgh
offside.
unforgivably offside, and Hartpury
Behind
away
my
in a
back, lady,
hurry,
I can't see that. Yeah.
but too quick for Lee McQuinney, and they're called back.
Marks up where they should have been.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Hartpury do here.
Oh,
I'd
back line,
probably go
offside,
back
not
to the
10
corner
metres.
again. They surely won't get it wrong twice in a row. Not to curse them.
So far side, just try and manage that in if you can, but understand. White on line? White on line? Yeah. White's got line, ladies, take a wee step for me.
Hartpury from 5 metres closer, shortened line out. They pick out Lily Terry,
God.
but the ball spills forward, and
Red.
Edinburgh survive again.
Advantage, not rolling. Yeah, 2.
They're
Red 2, not
really
rolling.
backing
Your penalty advantage.
their ability to carry and play out of these tough positions, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone exits differently. This is an
penalty
opportunity for them to kick here, and I'd be trying to get it off.
Do you want it?
Unconventionally, off the shins, and unsuccessfully
Okay, we're going to play
as
advantage
far as
over
Hartpury
now.
are concerned. Edinburgh make a big gain, slung shot out round the back of the shoulders.
No.
Very nicely done, and there's a big mismatch in numbers, and Edinburgh are on here, and so too Walker. Hannah Walker stretches her legs. Walker racing
That's
into
all right
the
on that.
22.
Happy? On side.
Best passage for Edinburgh so far. Hartpury scrambling, scattered. Oh, the hamstring stretcher, just asking
Off hand
too
down
much
ankles.
of Hannah Walton. And the move breaks down. But
off.
no doubt about it, Edinburgh's finest passage of play in this half.
Yeah, 100%. They're again sort of proving me wrong with these exits. Obviously, they kept it on field there, and it's worked out for them. I think they're looking incredibly dangerous when they get into those wide channels. Hannah Walker in particular looking very exciting, working in not a lot of space and able to beat her opposite number there.
I'll keep an eye.
She's got a lot of fans here.
Hey, boys, if you just
Hannah
keep an eye on
Walker
that
at the
for me as well,
Hive.
I'll
We've
see
got
that,
the
just clear and pass it up.
Scottish women's senior
Sure,
team
just
who've
seeing
come
I'm
to
happy as that.
support all the uni girls this afternoon. They're putting their feet up ahead of facing Fiji here tomorrow at the Hive before they head on their way to Cape Town for WXV.
Yeah, looking to defend their title out of WXV too after winning it last year. A lot of players that I know very well, and wish them all the best tomorrow. Looking forward to coming down and watching and seeing how they get on before, as you say, heading off to Cape Town, which might be a bit brighter and sunnier than Edinburgh in September.
Not a bad trip to be on that one. Month in Cape Town.
Yeah, definitely as tour
Right, ladies,
opportunities
let's
go, it's an exciting one.
How long's left? We've just got over 18 to go. Of normal time. Okay, ladies, time on. Hour and a half. You take that side if you can see, yeah? So, red ball, knock on. I'll step.
As it is Edinburgh Uni looking to
Coach!
try and restrict Hartpury
Bind!
to their 22 for a while. Have a bit of concerted time down in the opposition half. I'll put a squeeze on at the scrum, but Hartpury is so solid.
Yes!
It's an early break on the blind side from the Edinburgh flanker. She's gotten away with it, and Mans ricochets one off the back of Walker.
Backwards play on, backwards play on.
A hurried clearance from Hartpury fuels the belief within the Edinburgh girls and the supporters here at the Hive.
White ball.
Yeah, that's really good for Edinburgh to turn the screw there, really put the pressure on while they got the opportunity. So now's their time to strike and make good that pressure.
Hold.
Haven't seen so much of the Edinburgh line. Hannah Walton, who's a PhD student, having come from Leeds Beckett, finds her woman in the air, and off goes Lucy McRae. He's carried with real purpose, but for the first time she gets to do so in the opposition half rather than fighting fires. Knock on in the contact though from Edinburgh, and I tell you what, if Hartpury can get it to the edge, they could be on.
Going backwards, ladies, we're going backwards, red ball.
Yeah, we're just not seeing that last pass sticking from Edinburgh here. Be interesting to see what Shank's message is at half-time, but it may be sort of just hold on in that contact. You're on top, you're building the pressure. There's no need to score off that first or second phase. You can build the phases and look to challenge Hartpury.
So Edinburgh have had former GB7s and now Scotland international Ross McCann assisting them with their skills.
Yeah, Ross a guy I know well, obviously involved with us at Edinburgh now on the men's side. So yeah, he'll be assisting in the best way he can. I'm sure they'll be sick of his horrendous chat. So that's one way to play well. Hear less of his chat.
Direct from Nina Munson, who's joined Edinburgh from the USA, from Oregon. And it's her carry that sets up a little impetus for Charlotte Fosberry to then forge ahead. Penalty here for Edinburgh. They want to go quick, and they do. Clark driving the tempo, looking for help and finding Walker on the shoulder. Fosberry beginning to grow into the game. Ramsey. Beautiful line from Fletcher. White jerseys queuing up outright if they can pick the pass. The short ball, a thunderous carry, but wonderfully shut down.
They got advantage here, it's a real opportunity to spread it wide.
Surely now for Edinburgh. Oh, the one extra pass and then the loss of the footing. Goodness me. That last pass didn't need to happen.
No, I thought she was over. I'm not sure if she scored it. I don't think she has. So I imagine they'll go back for the penalty.
So it's a knock-on in the tackle. We're playing penalty advantage for the high tackle. We're back for the penalty. Time is up. Red captain, please. Thanks, mate. So we're now on a number of high tackles for you guys again. And we've had 2 in the danger zone.
I imagine similar conversation that was had with Hannah Walker earlier, happening with Charlie Manns now. There's a lot of penalties in that red zone defensively.
Well, that was the pass that came when the line was begging for Zoe Pyatt. Too much generosity from the woman who has lived and played some rugby in Hong Kong, represented Sandy Bay back in the day. But it should have been a maiden WBSR try for the blind side, had she not felt the need to give that last pass. I'd say that Hartpury are seeing Sophie McQueen lead the field. She was always due to only play 30 minutes as she makes her way back from that ankle injury. Bria Clark taps. Edinburgh forge ahead. The carry from Fletcher, halted 1 metre shy. Now it's Logan, with their teammates looking to propel her forward. Space underneath the uprights. And Emily Kubra has Edinburgh's first try of the WBSR era.
Fantastic from the forwards there. Fletcher and Logan, both players I know well from playing with the Celtic Challenge last year, so fantastic to see them thriving there, and then obviously finished off nicely under the post. Opportunity to draw themselves level, which I think has been thoroughly deserved in the last few minutes.
Problem with being bald, the sweat takes all your tape off. One of the many problems. They did tape me up last week because it kept falling off. I looked terrible.
Lucy McRae, who's brought such industry to the centres, with Edinburgh's back to the wall, slots the extras, and the game is level.
We've played 27.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see them come level there. I think it's been coming in the last few minutes. McRae, as you said, been standout in that centre. She's another one who, alongside Clark, played for Glasgow Warriors in the Celtic Challenge last year. So Edinburgh providing players not just to us here at Edinburgh, but over to the Warriors in the West.
Yep, you.
Kubra is a woman for tries on the big occasions.
Second, she didn't make
She
the
got one for
tackle.
Bigger Rugby Club as they clinched the National Shield in April. And she gets one here at the Hive. Edinburgh with the wind in their sails and beginning to carve some really pleasing lines. They leave the precious cargo behind, but Holly Howland might just go it alone. The former gymnast goes tiptoeing down the touchline. Good pick up and then shoveled under pressure, but we were right in line. It was a great ball, but it was forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, marginally so. But again, just Edinburgh looking to play a lot of rugby here. Definitely an expansive style. I think it's a typical of a Shanks side. She'd definitely breeds them to play excellent rugby.
Camp's fine. You can run that off, you're fine.
Well, it's the first half that's certainly taken its toll. He paused for another injury break. And, you know, good opportunity to say hello to the new viewers who are going to be drawn here by the fact that it's WBSR, by the fact that it's a new intake of students as well. I think that's probably one of the most glorious things about our league is that we get fresh recruits every year on tap and fresh stories, new people to get excited about, and also the opportunity to see how they blend in with the established players, what they can add to these already esteemed institutions.
100%, and you see those journeys through the years. So the young players we're seeing out there today, how they'll be doing in a few years' time when they're actually the senior players, and then you get saddos like me that end up working in the environment once they leave and can't really let go. And then when you think they have let go, they end up here again commentating with you, Burnsy. So my exit from the university game has failed.
Choose a spare. Just hop about, you're fine.
Long, drawn out, and still yet to be complete.
Can't help it.
Well, it's also a very good opportunity as well to mention the partnership with BUCS have engaged with AHDB. It's a long-term partnership, and it is the reason that we've got Women's BUCS Super Rugby, this new partnership that has led to being able to have 3 officials at all the games to put the foundation blocks in to make the Women's National League now Super Rugby level. So proud to be supporting the Milk Every Moment campaign, highlighting the nutritional value of milk and how it can support students in their sporting performance. So it's with great thanks to Milk Every Moment for their support, particularly in helping us launch Women's BUCS Super Rugby for this season by providing funding for referees at all fixtures. And the knockout stage of this year's BSR competitions will also be known as the BUCS Super Rugby Milk Championships, culminating with finals day in March, where I'd imagine the cream will rise to the top, Gally.
Right, time on, ladies.
That couldn't have been any more you, Burnsy. I think all that explains the interesting photos of milk we've seen from Media Day. Obviously, social media, great way to follow along with BSR, see all the up-to-date news. You don't have to have notifications on like Norses like me do, but it's definitely a great way to follow along and learn about that initiative through the photos from the media day, which looked fantastic, and it was good to hear from some of the new coaches involved.
More milk puns to come as the season unfolds. More tries and more gripping contests like this too. More fine starlets like Charlie Manns. He's found a way to go through. Abby Pritchard pins her ears back, tries to get Claw to the floor. It's a huge collision in the corner, but Pritchard rides the contact and dots down for try number 2 for Hartpury.
Yeah, that's excellent play from Manns. As we've mentioned, I've certainly been waxing lyrical about her so far, and she's shown that there. And then Pritchard, whilst useful, showing some of her experience. Another one who's involved in the PWR up system at the weekend. So definitely showing what she's made of, and probably a player to watch out for the rest of the season.
Manns, the creator, unable to be Manns, the converter, but still a glistening run right through the heart of the Edinburgh defence, and Pritchard on hand to finish the job.
As I mentioned there, really like a 10 that engaged the line, and she's certainly done that there. Lots of runners off her as she drifts across, and then able to find that final pass that has been missing on occasion for Edinburgh today. So to be fair to Pritchard, she still had a lot to do to finish it, and she's done well to dot down in the corner.
Fabulous finish. Oh, the bounce is so kind, and let the girls place her.
Come on, Bez, we can't question officials now. It was touch and go, really tight on that 10-metre line. But yeah, would have been interesting to see what Edinburgh made of that. But instead, we get to see the best part of rugby, a scrum.
Wow, that was as tight as can be.
Very much is.
And certainly not doubting the call of the referee there. More just that desire to see big moments and magic scores, and that bounce beautifully into the grasp of Edinburgh, but not travelling 10.
Set. Hold.
It's another stable platform for Hartpury to play off here, so it'll be interesting to see what they can create.
Delayed ball followed by an awkward one, and Becca Jackson does really nicely to gather that with a lot of white jerseys flashing up hard.
Onside, retreat.
Manns is dictating everything just to a higher level of rugby IQ at the moment, but Walker has a response for nearly everything that is thrown her way at the moment. She looks like a real talent, doesn't she? Just as it looks to be on the short side, Becca Jackson draws the blast of the referee's whistle for what looks like maybe a nasty collision.
Yeah, obviously potential head knock there, which we obviously don't want to see. So referee's done the right thing to stop it, but it is unfortunate for Edinburgh because once again Hannah Walker's providing with that front foot platform, and someone like Rhea Clark is definitely going to take advantage of that from the base of the ruck. So they'll be looking to get the ball into Walker's hands as much as possible. Looks like a really intelligent kick from Manns, which it definitely was, but Walker made the best out of what was a tough situation and got her side onto the front foot. Has put in a real captain's performance so far, as has Manns, to be fair.
A bit of concern here for Becca Jackson, who is another one of these college products. She's a really bright star, having featured for not just England under-18s in Italy in the festival, but also in the under-19s as well, that was played in Cardiff over the summer. Normally a fly half, but being deployed at fullback today, and it's part of a wider view that Andrew Ford and Hartpury have about their players, they're looking at versatility, they're looking at a hybrid angle with a lot of these players, and I think like a part of that is what an exploration of depth BUCS Super Rugby can be throughout the season, not only because of injuries and form, but also these players that you see before you, there is a high likelihood that they are going to be dragged into Premiership clubs to feature in the PWR or the Cup competitions or national under-20 squads. So by offering that versatility, it's not just developing their skills personally, but it's also making them more valuable tools to the squad at large as the season progresses and it narrows towards that climax of the finals. Gally, what about Edinburgh? You know, we've rightly bigged Hartpury up, who are leading by 5 at the moment, but Edinburgh have weathered storm after storm, and you know they look sharp in attack, and you know there's been a couple of moments where they've looked like they may break free and take the lead as well.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it previously, just sometimes that last pass hasn't gone to hand. I think you'll see a lot throughout certainly the last few years of men's BUCS Super Rugby, and I'm sure we'll see it going forward in women's Super Rugby. There's a lot of attrition. You've got to stick in. Like, teams are built on strong defences, and we've seen that from Edinburgh to repel this challenging attack of Hartpury. And certainly, as previous years will attest, being in the game at half time against Hartpury gives you a real good opportunity to then kick on from there, because some teams get blown out of the water in the first 20 minutes, and it's tough to come back. So look, Edinburgh have had their opportunities to be in front, but I think they'll be happy with the platform that they've got at the moment, and we'll be looking to kick on in the latter stages of the game.
Natasha Logan there, the psychology and business student who was very much in a leadership role last year, and well, you can see continues in that vein here today, despite Hannah Walker captaining and Clark and Fletcher being the official vice captains. But how important are those non-official leadership voices in a team, so to put it, not to diminish the role, but you know, somebody doesn't have an asterisk by their name on a team sheet?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you also have your leaders on the team sheet, and you can get different style of leader. They can lead by example, or they can lead by talking, or they can do both. But certainly in university, where you sort of a lot of players are living together, they're studying together, then they're playing together, you get a lot of cultural leaders who tend to drive the club culture, and reports are Logan is certainly one of those characters within the Edinburgh side. So she's definitely important to them this season, and as you say, despite not having like an official asterisk next to her name, it's certainly someone that's a leader for them on the field and off it.
Well, sadly, it looks to be the end of Becca Jackson's afternoon as she heads across the touchline, and just looking across that Kelsey Webber, wearing 23, is on. Certainly one of these hybrid utility players that Andrew Ford is trying to breed. And Kelsey Webster, not shy on physicality, is the inside track of the woman who's shaping up at outside centre in that red back line.
Yeah, just a reshift of their back line there, so it'll be interesting to see how this well-established Edinburgh back line challenge them now. But as you say, a lot of utility players in that Hartpury squad. We saw Mans playing at 12 at the weekend for Gloucester Hartpury, and certainly looking more than comfortable at fly half today.
Coach! Bind! Are you down? Set!
Edinburgh shaping up with McRae, the more promoted, to carry short, but also Ramsey offering herself out the back. Walker's on the drift, and well, it's disguised really nicely to her centre partner. Logan's back up And pumping those pistons, getting those meters after contact, so important to put your team on the front foot. Nicely zipped out the back and then just popped out of the tackle. Inventive stuff, and the support coming from Munson.
Yeah, Edinburgh on top again. They'll be looking to capitalise once again on this opportunity, but repelled by that dominant Hartpury defence.
Wow, the hills in the background of the Hive tremble a little as the hits come in from Hartpury. Logan has a few white jerseys alongside her for support. Here's Ramsey. Risky ball that doesn't stick, and Hartpury in transition are in and behind Edinburgh. Foot race between Walker and Pritchard. Walker wins it.
Yeah, once again Walker's done very well in that scramble cover there. Done very well for her side. Another intelligent kick from Mans.
Yes!
Edinburgh need to work a little bit harder to get behind the ball here. It was all set up there. It was fine work from Munson, the fullback, who secured the ball after Walker had claimed it. It was a little lethargic from the rest of the Edinburgh team. Now they're back on the ball. Now they've got numbers behind it, and now
there's nothing in that.
Looks like there's space out here to the right-hand side. If the hands can be as slick as they've been. Off goes Holly Howland. Howland just almost steps herself and then gets flung back across the 10-metre line.
It's still high.
Potentially another upright tackle there, so they're playing with advantage, so they'll be looking to be expansive here.
Brilliant shift of angle and direction. Well, the rugby ball is a mischievous one when it comes to bouncing, but even more so on a 4G.
Well, you get the mark.
But we do come back for that penalty advantage.
Yeah, we saw Mans struggling in the backfield there, just sort of kicking out her foot just to make sure she's all right. That'll be key for Hartpury to maintain her position on the field.
High tackle. That's okay. Good man. Go. 4, ladies, 4. 4 minutes to go. Sorry, I wasn't you. Here you go. Yeah, there you go. 10 metres, 10 metres.
Edinburgh with one of the final attacking moments of this half, a gripping half that feels like it's delivered more tries than the 3. Lucy McRae has been outstanding. There's a rhythm and a flow to the manner in which Edinburgh are attacking at the moment, but still they can't break Hartpury down. Munson to Walker, bounces off the left, then the right, takes 3 red jerseys to drag her down. Clark, again, the driver of the tempo, finds Fosbury.
Release, red! Vantage, offside in the middle.
The delay from Ramsey, saw the defence coming.
3 red, offside.
Can Edinburgh close out this first 40 with a try to level things up?
Penalty's right in the middle, gents.
They look like they've got space out wide. Again, that final pass not finding hands, but they've still got the opportunity here to recycle.
You still have penalty advantage.
Great strength in the run from Munson.
Yeah, as opposed to earlier in the half, we're seeing Edinburgh make gain line every time they carry now. So they're really putting this Hartpury side under pressure, and there's opportunities coming for them off the back of that.
Well, there's that physicality from Webster, matching the strength of Walton. McRae, who is carrying with real menace.
No drop in height.
Logan, likewise, once again, getting over that gain line.
Wonderful possession keeping from Edinburgh, popped off the floor. Now they're in behind McPherson.
The space out wide if they move it quickly here as well.
Instead they go short. Kubra, the try scorer, looking for a second.
White ball, let that come.
Well, it's a bit ponderous at the base from Edinburgh, and it's given Hartpury an opportunity to re-resource that back line. Short ball, and
We've gone last.
Carry.
Still playing advantage with it.
Then the feet from Walker, who crops up on the right.
Release, Red! I'll get out your way.
It's a real strong end to the half here from Edinburgh. They're looking to come away with points now.
Logan. How many carries is that? Kubra, like a missile. But is repelled by the red defence. Penalty. Rhea Clark is a woman in a hurry.
Looks like the referee is going to take time out of the clock and potentially show the first yellow card of women's BSR here.
So there's been repeated infringements. I also gave a final warning again, and you've made zero effort to drop your height. That's to be yellow.
And it is Mans, and that'll be key at the start of the second half. But before we get to that, Edinburgh will be looking to get some points on the board here.
Mark's here. 9.
Takes 10 minutes off Charlie Mans this afternoon out there on the 4G. And as you said, hugely significant individual. Logan, how good has she been in this first half?
Yeah, fantastic. We're seeing dominant forward carries from this pack now, and they'll be looking to get over the line.
Edinburgh,
Watching offside line, your side.
as close as they've been since their try that came from Kubra. She's on the ball again, hunting the paint. Picked up, put down, stop for now. Long ball over the top, Walker, the danger woman, ties Hartpury in knots before McRae pops up on the shoulder. Ramsey puts an exclamation mark at the end of a sweeping move. Edinburgh in the groove and level with a try at the death in the first half.
Fantastic try from Edinburgh there. As I said, dominant carries from the forwards, and then, as their DNA suggests, they've flung it wide, and danger player Walker there has got a great offload away, and then they've scored in the corner. So fantastic for them to bring it level, and as you say, it's felt like a half with a lot more than 4 tries, and both teams looking dangerous in attack. So yeah, it's been a fantastic game so far.
Yeah, that's the line, sorry. Yeah.
McRae now, who's probably been one of the best players on the field so far, with the opportunity to give Edinburgh that narrow lead going into half time, which will be a real boost for them. But regardless, going in level, they'll be confident going into that second half.
To the left of the uprights, the ball sails, and probably justly, the halftime whistle blows, and the two sides cannot be separated in a gripping contest in the inaugural WBSR match in history. Halftime here at the Hive, Edinburgh 12, Hartpury 12. Well, this is how the action unfolded on a day of history here at the Hive, with the first ever women's BUCS Super Rugby fixture. And it was the champions. It was Hartpury. Wouldn't you just know it? Getting on the scoreboard within seconds. Sophie McQueen with a busting carry, bursting through the white wall and through the final defender that made the conversion very easy for Charlie Mans. And with barely seconds on the clock, it was the champions picking up where they left off the season before, leading. However, despite a barrage of attacks across a 20-minute period, Edinburgh managed to see Hartpury not breach their line another time. Instead, they began to turn the screw. And Emily Kubra, the Scotland under 18-year-old, found herself to the line, and to great reception from her teammates as well. It was just desserts for a purple patch of attack from Edinburgh. And no messing around from Lucy McRae, who's been outstanding in all departments, wearing 12 for Edinburgh today. This, though, was arguably the pick of the bunch. Charlie Manns using every player around her and her wily skills to breach the Edinburgh defence, to find Pritchard hugging the touchline. And despite having 2 white jerseys clinging on to her, Abby Pritchard found the finish before, late in the first half, Edinburgh began to swing the ball around, play with confidence, get the offloading going. Walker to McRae, Ramsey with the final act, and Edinburgh equalising in the dying embers of the first half. This is what's coming up on the live stream for you to feast your eyes on. Exeter v Loughborough, a repeat of last year's final, with the champions travelling down to Topsham for the opener of the men's BUCS Super Rugby. That's followed on the 2nd of October by another trip up north as Durham host Hartpury. And then it is the Palatinates. It's a double header against Nottingham. Right, well, it is a historic day. It is a day where it's all things women's BUCS Super Rugby. So, seemingly, well, yes, it's fitting to have BUCS National Performance Manager Dan Roberts to, well, illuminate us a little bit more about the journey it's been to WBSR and also what is to come.
Yeah, so it's a really momentous day here up in Scotland for the launch of Women's BSR. The programme's come a long way since the 2019-20 season when we made the league a national league, brewing it on from a North and South division. And through the years, it's really proved itself as being a pathway within women's rugby. That we know of, we've had at least 96 players that have come through this programme so far to play either PWR or Celtic Challenge, and so far produced 29 full internationals. So it's really evident the pathway and the impact it's having on the sector. In terms of women's BSR, this really brings some parity between the men's and the women's competition. So events like this, big standalone live stream games for the women's game is where we want to head. More live stream, more media coverage. And really want to put these players on a pedestal and promote the hell out of them.
Well, we're doing that for sure. I think they're responding as well. It's a cracking game at the moment with the second half to come. And I guess from your experience, because you're one of the OGs of BUCS Super Rugby, you were there in the very, very early days, and the impact that had on the men's competition. For people who aren't completely au fait, it used to be split into a North and a South division, and then teams who finished high up in those league tables would meet in the knockout. So you could go for seasons without the top teams actually playing each other based on the draw. But, you know, now certainly we have that in the men's, and particularly now with the wins, we're seeing the best of the best week in, week out, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, two massive teams here today playing against each other. In the past, these two sides have never would have met in the North and South Division. So both of these sides have produced internationals, PWR Celtic Challenge players. So these really are the stars of tomorrow playing today, and the fact that they get to play against each other 2 times in the regular season as well as potentially in the knockouts and later in the finals is really exciting.
I'm going to ask you an awkward, cheeky question just because I've got you on the mic, but you know, you see a lot of rugby, you've seen it over the years. Who's your pick this season for the inaugural WBSR title?
My political answer is it's going to be a really close and competitive season, and that's all I'm going to say. So we're looking forward to some exciting rugby and some close games.
You're no fun, but we do love your work in bringing WBSR together. Thank you very much, Dan.
Okay, ladies. Edinburgh good. On the whistle. Time is on.
And with that, second half underway at the Hive. Edinburgh kicking into the arms of Hartpury, who they are level with, 12 points apiece after an absorbing first 40 minutes.
Advantage, red knock on.
And certainly the direction of travel in the latter stages of that first half was with Edinburgh, and they forced an early error here against Hartpury.
Yeah, Edinburgh will be looking to capitalise again on this opportunity, maintain that pressure that they built towards the end of the first half, and kick on and take their first lead of the game here.
Hartpury have got a bit of problem solving to do here as well. We've seen that they have fallen foul of a few injuries. We've seen Becca Jackson leave the field. We've seen Sophie McQueen also. So what were already fresh combinations, they're having a bit of additional fresher seasoning going in there. So it's demanding for Hartpury here.
Yeah, and I think you'll see it throughout the women's game in the university and over the last few years and going forward. Depth is really important, and you're seeing a lot of sides putting out two, three sides a week now, which is fantastic for the women's game, having that many players playing every Wednesday. It's definitely going to be important in Super Rugby. I know from my time at Loughborough, we've used upwards of 50 players in a men's BSR season before, so that squad depth is vital.
Ramsey, the try scorer at the death, links up with McRae. Munson, snappy hands to Walker, and the Edinburgh backline is really beginning to purr. It's a wonderful blend, actually. The physical dynamism of the pack allowing the backline to flourish. That is some hit down low, chopping from Alicia Smith. Ramsey delays the ball, smuggles it to Kubra. Kubra by a handful of shorts. What a challenge from Molly Allen. A try saver if ever you've seen one.
Wow, yeah, that was a fantastic opportunity from Edinburgh. What fantastic play from them. Disappointed they couldn't finish it off, but if that's a sign of things to come, Hartpury will certainly be a tad nervous.
Red scrum restart.
Emily Kubra, who rightly backed herself to finish the job, is the stricken woman. But this was all about Ramsey, who I feel has really grown in confidence as the game has gone on.
Absolutely. I think Edinburgh have had Sarah Denholm at the helm at 10 for many years now, so Ramsey's had some big shoes to fill, big shoes to fill, and as you say, she's grown into that game. I mentioned earlier with Mann, sort of that fly half that attacks the line, and with Mann's off the field for the next 6-7 minutes or so, it's a real opportunity for Ramsey to stamp her authority on this game.
It's a young centre pairing as well for Hartpury as well. And you mentioned Mann's the linchpin not being there, so an opportunity for Ramsey, who's been training with the seniors, helping them prepare for WXV, looking to flex her attacking muscles. There's Holly McIntyre there, who is still studying at Edinburgh. She is weeks away from having overcome an ACL injury that ruled her out just before WXV last time round when Scotland won it down in Cape Town, and it'll be a delight to see her back in Edinburgh uni colours, but it'll be the last that we'll see, sadly, of Emily Kubra. The all-action 8 bids farewell to the match, and Hannah McMahon, wearing 17, comes onto the field. So we might see something of a reshuffle. I wonder if Poppy Fletcher will go to number 8. It's a position that she started in many times for Edinburgh through her career. Oh, well, where is she on?
I think Kat Moody has also come on, and maybe Hannah Walton has been replaced by Hannah McMahon.
You may be right. Yes, Kat Moody, who met the group for the first time only on Monday night.
Wow, that's exciting for her to be involved in such a great occasion on only 48 hours after meeting the group, and that kind of does highlight another one of those great stories that you get in the university game.
Exciting prospect, actually. She was player of the tournament for Cardinal Newman as they won the Rosslyn Park National School Sevens this year. So
very exciting, a tournament we both know well, of course. Definitely one where the men's BSR sides have been going to scout future talents, and I'm sure we'll see the same from the women's.
Well, we're going to see one out here today with Kat Moody making her WBSR and Edinburgh Uni debut. A lot of hunger in the Edinburgh defence now, and really Hartpury will want some time on the ball, cherish time on the ball.
Penalty advantage.
And in a bid to steady the ship, it looks like Amy Dale is onto the field. Here's Nina Munson from Portland, Oregon, looking to skate through, but getting side down by Molly Bunker. Edinburgh looking composed, looking for the edge. Clark. There is a real rhythm to the manner in which Edinburgh are attacking now as McMahon advances play forward.
Yeah, that's fine. Like it.
Oh, the no-look from Ramsey. Went to no one. Opportunity lost, but is it transition for Hartpury?
It's just cramp, play on. Knock-on advantage, we were playing. No advantage.
Well, neither side truly cherishing possession at the moment in the early exchanges of this half.
Yeah, we saw similar for periods in the first half. There's been a few drop balls, a few passes not going directly to hand, so they'll both be looking to steady the ship a little. When they've been able to do that, they've both looked incredibly dangerous.
Where's Captain? Just to explain something.
That is Poppy Fletcher, who is down, and also we've just had a replacement in the back line as well for Edinburgh. We're trying to keep our eyes peeled to all the player movements around, but there's a lot going on the touchlines here.
Yeah, I believe Sarah McCormack has come on for Josie Fuvester, so be interesting to see how Sarah gets on. That's been a pretty dangerous centre partnership so far, spearheaded by Lucy McRae, so be interesting to see how McCormack slots into that back line that has at times looked incredibly dangerous for Edinburgh here.
Yeah, McCormack, classic BUCS story really. She only started playing rugby when she came to university. It's the first time she picked up a ball. Now she is... let's call it as it is. This is like the highest echelon, some of the highest echelons of the game in England. This isn't just
captain's performance.
Back foot, good. Yep, yeah, that was it.
Again, more dominant carries from this Edinburgh pack, and they're on the front foot, looking to release that back line through Clark and Ramsey.
I'm going to say okay on that just because she's dipped into that. But I would like to see a bit more.
What a game we've got unfolding, and the good news is there's 25 minutes, plenty more twists and turns to come as well. Munson, the collegiate Grizzly, wrestles her way to the 10. That's another meaningful carry, this time from Kat Moody. Logan back into the fray, been a bit quiet the last 15 minutes. Ramsey is really zipping it around at first for Seaven. McRae's the perfect foil. Shuddering shot comes in though.
Ramsey again making that break, carrying to the line.
I love it. Ball in one hand, just manipulating the defence with the threat of what she might do. But in her attacking design, she finds herself isolated, and that is a penalty and a sigh of relief for Hartpury, who are being moved around quite a bit, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. That 9-10 axis of Clark and Ramsey are really coming into their own now, and they're dictating the pace of play. And moving that Hartpury defence around. As we said, they've got a big dominant pack, but if you get them moving, then it's a real challenge for them. And as you say, McRae has been the perfect aid to that Ramsey and Clark axis.
So I wasn't trying to be rude, but we don't chat when there's a potential quick tap. You can ask me it down to. Yeah. That middle's my right foot, defensive. Yeah. Hold.
Slips through the grip, but goes backwards mercifully for Hartpury. That is so nicely done. Barnstorming run, felling Edinburgh defenders. Late ball, Hartpury really expressing themselves, flooding into the Edinburgh 22. But the ball spills forward at the most crucial moment from the grasp of bunker.
Nine, talk to me, you're in it. No advantage.
We go back for that knock on there. Yeah, both teams have definitely had opportunities to add more points to the scoreboard, but just incredibly tight fixture, as I mentioned earlier. Really impossible to call at this stage. We've got a really exciting last 20 or so minutes to go.
So I'm watching that because I've had
It's a real pendulum swinging match, isn't it? You just sort of get these waves of momentum for each side, seemingly with Hartpury in that moment were it not for the spill.
Absolutely, I think both teams have had spells where they've been truly excellent, and they're really showing what a great advert for women's BSR in its first game. As we look back on that break from young Webster there, and like I say, that both sides have been excellent at points. Both sides would have missed opportunities, but it's been a great advert so far. And as you say, that pendulum swinging back and forth. Hartpury maybe currently on top, but the scoreboard still has Edinburgh in the lead.
There was the finish from Lowry Davis, who was right to look delighted with herself. That handed Hartpury the lead again, but momentarily, as this utter determination, tight to the line, from Zoe Pyatt, I think it was, who, well, she turned down the opportunity to score in the first half, instead opting to pass when she was half a centimetre from the line. But she finally gets her try there.
Yeah, she wasn't going to be denied there. Initially thought she was going to be held up, and then does well to wrestle her way free and dot that ball down. And McRae adding the extras to give Edinburgh their first lead of the game.
Don't put that out there. That'll be me.
There's going to be some busy physio beds in the aftermath of this contest, which has been full-blooded from the first blast to this on the 57th minute. And, well, we've touched on BSR and now WBSR being an examination of depth. And we're seeing already here a few problems for Andrew Ford, mainly to solve. It seems to be Hartpury who are wearing the battle scars a little bit prouder.
22.
Absolutely, but I think we were talking earlier about what that change to BSR brings, and don't get me wrong, a lot of these universities will already have established backroom staff and fantastic staff outside of the coaching team to work alongside them. But certainly from my time in the men's BUCS Super Rugby, one of the things I noticed was the professionalism around it in terms of strength and conditioning support, medical support. So that's the sort of thing that these players will only benefit from as the game moves towards that more professional level. Fordy smiling down there as he knows he's in a tough battle here. I mean, he'd have had many of them before, but he's had many games where he's run away with it. So we mentioned really testing the depth of his squad. If a man can put a back line together with a few injuries, I have faith that Fordy will be able to do it.
But this is certainly the kind of rugby that we are looking to be bringing on the live stream throughout the season, both in the women's and the men's competition. There is a reason they call it the best leagues in the land. It's because, genuinely, anyone can beat anyone. Not just saying it, it is the truth. You just need to go back and look through the streams of yesteryear and the history books, and particularly the finals and the drama that they have produced. Quite extraordinary moments, heart-stopping ones. That's why Gally and I look like we do now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think looking back on them from my perspective in terms of being involved in them, it's been tough to watch, but definitely enjoyable. There's been men's final the last couple of years. Loughborough and Exeter have been fantastic. The women's final last year, Loughborough Hartpury really ebbed and flowed, and could have gone either way. And it's tough viewing when you've got vested interest in it, but it's definitely exciting for the neutral and for all fans.
Looks like Larry Davis's race is run as she's left the field, and we're seeing Webster line up on the left wing now in her absence. Becca Jackson is back on at full back, and she might just be fielding a touch finder after that penalty to Edinburgh.
17, standing, driving up.
And I'd say someone interesting is on as well. Hannah Marshall is on wearing 21 for Hartpury, who has been getting rave reviews about her natural talent, her vision particularly. Just walking into frame there now, diminutive in stature, but incredibly talented. She's played Wales 18s, 20s. She's even trained with the seniors as well. Full back by fly half, I beg your pardon, by trade, but potentially again using that H word hybrid, looking to play a star turn at scrum half, having sort of developed that rugby IQ, playing a lot of touch. Here she is, looking to convert this free kick. A little bit of nerves on the tap, but she gets it away to Constable.
Another opportunity for Hartpury here, just to get back in the ascendancy of this game.
But Edinburgh have turned down the opportunity to clear the decks with any aplomb. Beautiful ball off the floor, and then the sit down and the bullocking run. Hartpury are going to their strengths. Big runners off 9, challenging the shoulders of the Edinburgh players. Oh, Mans drifts it over the top just as the contact was arriving, and Webster finishes the job. Marshall to Mans to Webster. Try scoring perfection from Hartpury.
Yeah, we see them revert back to type there, get some dominant ball carries, and then once that space opens up, they're excellent at identifying it and getting the ball there, and they've certainly got the danger players out wide to finish those tries off, as we've seen throughout the game.
She came close last time. She doesn't miss at the second time of asking from right out on the edge. And Hartpury not only take the lead, they re-establish the one from before. A conversion from Mans after this fabulous interplay with the slick hands involving her, Marshall, and lastly Webster.
Yep, Hartpury retaking the lead that they've had for much of this game, and we'll see how Edinburgh respond now.
Hard running from Katie Harrison, who herself is transitioning from hooker into the back row. Off she goes. Hannah Marshall spots a gap, flight of feet, then looks for the inside ball, but asked just a little too much of the support on her shoulder.
Oh, they've gone left there when the opportunity was on outright. It probably still is on if they get it wide early.
Well, flat as Meg Lewis takes it on. Marshall offers some width, gives it to Moriarty. But again, The handling letting Hartpury down. Allen wrestled to ground.
Is that Kat Moody that you highlighted earlier with a fantastic tackle there?
Kat Moody has absolutely deleted the Hartpury runner coming in short there.
23 maintain feet.
But the key thing is for Pury, they've still got their hands on the ball. The red waves keep crashing on Edinburgh shores.
Yeah, Edinburgh are doing well to repel this attack so far, but as we've seen from Hartpury, they know how to pick apart a defence. Man spreading it wide out the back.
Say that again.
The defence has been excellent from both sides. It's taken some very nice passages of play to unlock either defence. But by and large, both have held resolute and they haven't shirked their challenges. Mans, though, just massages the defence, manipulates them. Harrison gets slammed by Howland. Of Edinburgh managed to get their hands on this.
I think Hartpury have then turned it back over themselves. Real scrappy at the breakdown there. Hartpury will be looking to get it back on the front foot now.
Delayed ball to Lewis.
Marshall really dictating the tempo at 9 now.
Mans. She'll pass when she wants. She's got such strength as well. Oh, this is going to be gorgeous. What skills. What precision. A ruthless try-scoring edge in demonstration at the high from Hartpury. The try of the match so far.
Fantastic from that Hartpury side there. Mans once again showing her quality, getting the offload away, and then that really unlocks that defence, sucking several players in every time she carries the ball, and then shifting that point of attack.
I've had an informal chat with that, but there's nobody competing, so that's enough for me. As soon as there's a competition, I'll peg ceiling, but yep, that's a good shot, right? Sorry. No, but I actually thought I'm talking to the man in my ear.
Mans to extend their lead to 12. She's in fine form.
Yes.
In every sense of the word. Ball in hand and boots to ball.
Yeah, biggest lead of the game here with only 15 minutes to go. So pressure's on Edinburgh now to really come back into this fixture. Certainly come away with at least a couple of points, and probably something they deserve from the way they've played so far. But Hartpury showing their class at the end here as Ramsey goes for a short kick to reclaim it, and oh, she's very unlucky, nearly does so.
Very, very close. You have to say that the replacements from Hartpury have had a profound impact in this half. Here's one of them in Kelsey Webster. Physical specimen, loads of aggression.
Knock on here, play first one. White knock on, red ball.
Come back for that knock on from the kickoff. Great invention from Ramsey, and it was there for her to claim.
Yeah, it was good to see, as you say, good invention from her there. Hopefully see more of that throughout the season, but she's going to really have to get that back line outside her ticking if they want to get back into this game. But they need the ball. They haven't had the ball in the last 5 minutes or so, so that possession is going to be vital.
I like the look of a lot of players out here that we've seen today. We're not talking player of the match just yet. Who are some of the favourites? Who'd be your top 3 so far?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I've probably mentioned her enough in the quality that Mans has brought, but we already knew what she was going to bring to the table. I think Webster, when she's come on, has been incredibly exciting for Hartpury. Walker has shown real class in that on the edge of that back line for Edinburgh, and Ramsey has been certainly a good foil for Mans in the opposite as her opposite number. So. Certainly a lot of talent out there, and exciting for everyone involved in women's rugby to see, as we see Clark showing her physicality off the base of that scrum.
Fine, just stay there, she's fine.
Does well to not get trapped in, and Marshall, again, dictates the tempo. Flipped out of the contact, and then the big shoulder comes in from McPherson. Mans sizes up.
Watching behind me there.
Some unguarded grasp. Awkward ball. Wonderful composure. Walker's away. There's the big palm. Just trapped round the laces. That was desperate stuff from... Just looking for who that was. Meg Moriarty. And the pressure from Hartpury delivers the result they wanted. Bit more possession, but namely territory in the Edinburgh half.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it earlier. The substitutes from Hartpury, they've been required, and they've definitely made a difference when they've come on. It's that depth we've been alluding to. This squad comes with a lot of experience, but excitingly for Fordy and that Hartpury set up a lot of new faces as well, showing their worth and showing that Hartpury once again will be a tough side to beat this season.
Sorry. I'd rather use new email because it looks a mess always. Okay, all good? Okay. Don't shift that break foot for me, keep it, okay?
The contest finely balanced here. A try for Hartpury. Begins to put it beyond any doubt, really. This lead of 12. The most significant at any stage this afternoon. And beginning to look really good with the ball in hand. Seem a lot more cohesive than they've been at any point in the match. And they're blending it with the physicality of the likes of Zhao, who's just searching for consistency, having struggled with injuries over the last few periods.
That's a knock on.
Yeah, penalty advantage there. Man's looking at that speculative crossfield kick, and it very, very nearly found the hands of Webster, who, as we've mentioned, has been incredibly dangerous.
Hold. Yep. Oh, spiral. Nice. Good call, mate.
Says a lot about Marshall's obvious kicking ability when she's kicking to touch there ahead of Charlie Mann. So definitely one to look out for, as we've mentioned. Scrum half at the moment, but can play fly half. So if Mans does move up onto that PWR squad, as we've seen her do, Hartpury's attack will be in safe hands.
Hold!
Hartpury unable to get them all rocking and rolling again. Edinburgh and their defence to that weapon, the go-to of Hartpury, has stood up so well. But now the red jerseys are going to look to batter before they go aerial. Webster looking to pluck the ball, but instead it's Jackson who miraculously claims it and then has the reach to stoop down low and finish a remarkable taken try.
Absolutely, that was a fantastic try there. Again, had that penalty advantage, and you see that inventiveness from Mans. As we've alluded to, that try might put the result to bed. Never say never in BUCS Super Rugby, but Hartpury certainly celebrating there like they think they may have secured the victory today.
I'm trying to do it in your accent so you understand me now. Try. Lovely crossfield.
Charlie Mans has decided that she ain't missing. Having clattered the upright from out wide, that's 3 challenging kicks, all nailed. And look at the strength.
What's that?
Of Becca Jackson. The take amongst all those bodies was impressive. To then find the finish. And Edinburgh have a mountain to climb. That'll help though.
Fingertips going forward.
Yeah, they need to score quickly off this scrum if they want to get back in this game, but they've definitely shown flashes throughout that they're more than capable of doing that. So Clark and Ramsey will be looking to unlock this this exciting back line and pick apart the Hartpury defence, which has been strong throughout.
It's a weapon, that thing. Crouch! Yep. Bang! Sit! Red square! Red square!
Yeah, I think just driving at a bit of an angle there. You could hear the referee saying stay square, and Clark's gone quickly. Again, here goes Ramsey looking to spread it wide.
The show from Emily Neal. Not bought by the Hartpury defence, but at long loss, Edinburgh are into that Hartpury 22. White jerseys queuing up, a little bit of inaccuracy, but Walker
breaks through,
sweeps up the crumbs and almost finds a way through. 5 metres, 4 metres shy. Now Edinburgh. A converted score here makes things interesting again.
I'll go your way, I'll go your way.
This is McMahon.
No, red.
Well, that has to be a clear out from the side, and agreement. Rhea Clark can go it alone. Instead, she looks for help, and who does she find? Kat Moody. But she fails to finish. And Becca Jackson may just go the length, stuttering, weaving, but reeled in quite brilliantly by Ramsey.
Yeah, you fear that may have been the opportunity for Edinburgh there. But as we see Walker come back, one of her textbook Maisie runs here. Looking for McRae outside her.
McRae is all caught, spots a bit of room, drops it on the toe. That's wonderfully dropped upon by Caris Hughes.
I would see Clark go quickly here again, looking to really up the tempo in these last few moments.
Well, Hartpury weren't 10, and that was a lifting tackle that looked a little bit clumsy on the way down as well, and Kelsey Webster will see yellow.
She's landed on the shoulder.
Frenetic.
Just a tad. I think if you're Edinburgh here, you're looking to get at least a couple of scores. One will give them the try bonus point, which could be valuable in the league. Two could potentially get them within that 7 points that would get them an extra bonus point. So still a lot to play for in the last 5 minutes here. It's definitely been a stop-start game, but ebbed and flowed, and we've definitely seen enough from both sides so they can be excited for the season ahead. Here, I think we're going to look back on that try that wasn't. Moody showing her strength, Clark going quickly, but that defence from Hartpury able to rip it out just before she dots it down over the line.
Okay. 5, just over. That's just on. Mark.
So Hartpury will play the last 5 minutes of the game down to 14. Edinburgh will look to capitalise on that, and it looks like once again Clark will tap and go quickly and look for the strong carries of Hannah McMahon, who's been excellent since she came on.
McMahon, the strike runner, followed by Walton. Logan always draws in more than one defender. Such a powerful weapon to deploy from so close. Ramsey, all the time in the world.
High, hit him. No doubt.
High tackle. Clark may just go it alone. She does. And Edinburgh have their score. Well, no, it is Clark or Webster or Walker.
Yeah, we've really seen them up the tempo, the quick taps, as Hartpury's disciplines let them down slightly towards the end of this game, and we've capitalised on that there, secured that try bonus point, which, as I mentioned earlier, could be invaluable later in the season. But now we'll see how they react. Only a few minutes to go, 2 scores down.
Look at that.
I've seen it happen in BSR, so don't write them off, but it would certainly be a tough hill to climb from there.
I don't say it's okay, make him run back forward.
The line was good, but it's too much elevation from Lucy McRae. No extras to add, but another try for Edinburgh. And importantly so, it's a bonus point one.
Yeah, absolutely. This will be a league that ebbs and flows in the same way this game has, and every point matters, as we've seen many times before. Leagues coming down to the last day. A couple of live streams bringing real excitement, so hopefully we get similar this season.
Still time for this lead to maybe not change hands, but to be levelled up with 2 converted scores. Edinburgh will be looking to, at the very minimum, get to within seven to secure another bonus. Ramsey. Marshall races up to apply a little bit of pressure on Neil.
22. Not held.
Advantage for Edinburgh. Here's Moody. Leaves the ball behind, but there was penalty advantage.
Yep. 22 off.
Clark looking to tap and go here again by the looks of it. Oh no, Ramsey's gonna kick for the territory and get them as deep as she possibly can into that Hartpury half. And she does so excellently.
Went into the two. Yeah. Right, red, D-line. Yep, no worries.
Final throws of a match that has ebbed and flowed, and it is flowing for Edinburgh late in the game. Ramsey looks to solve this Hartpury defensive puzzle that is racing up. Ball squirms free in Hartpury hands. They'll be in a hurry to get it off the pitch when the time is done. Nice inside ball, unsettles the defence. Delivers Meg Lewis and all her confrontation. The late ball from Marshall, who cops a shot for her troubles. Hughes up to the 10. Referee runs a bit of a blocking line, but it'll be play on with Amy Dale.
Yeah, Hartpury will be looking to keep the ball here to see out the rest of this game.
But Edinburgh will be desperate to turn over. That looks good on the floor.
We're playing advantage for penalty on the high tackle.
And I believe it was, but they're going back for previous advantage. Be interested to see how much is left on this referee's watch.
No, it's time for the penalty. We're still on lifetime. We're still on lifetime.
Touch found as Hartpury press for more points.
Just hold for me, just hold for me. I haven't seen anything with direct flag. Perfect. Good, thank you. Okay, right ladies, under come. D-line. No huddles, I said that at the start, please. Let's get line out going. Yep, thank you, mate. Hold! Advantage, offside!
Here's that Hartpury maul with Amy Dale at the back, which is a familiar sight.
Mans Slides one off the right boot, almost collected by Jackson again.
We have first infringement, all white offside, second red. Red penalty.
But another penalty, more ill discipline from Edinburgh.
Yeah, but his first infringement was white. Yeah. After this penalty.
Time and territory
Time is yours.
running out for Edinburgh.
Time. We have dead time. You need to tap if you're going to kill it. Right, line out.
Charlie Manns drives Hartpury into the corner once more.
For me. Yeah, there's white.
They get lucky. And Marshall is blown out of the way. Man says enough's enough. We'll take 5 match points on the road.
21. Let's be clear,
And we'll
that
take a
was not
page in the
like
history books
Excuse me.
as the first ever victors in a women's BUCS Super Rugby match.
Let me explain.
History at the Hive for the best leagues in the land. Hartpury triumphant over Edinburgh in an enthralling contest. It ends here, Edinburgh 24, Hartpury 38.
Okay, there's nothing really in it. So I just don't need that reaction, okay? That's fine. Good game of rugby though, well done.
These were the tries that kept us on the edge of our seats for the entirety of the match, and good opportunity to sort of get your summing up of the match as a whole as we see the opener here from Sophie McQueen.
Yeah, I think that opening 60 seconds sort of highlighted the strength of Hartpury and exactly the threat they pose. And it probably didn't come to fruition that they were able to assert that dominance throughout the whole game. As we've mentioned throughout, it ebbed and flowed, and we saw Edinburgh come back into it with their own strong ball carriers through the likes of Logan and Fletcher, and then Kubra, who gets over here. So I think it's a game where if I was either coach, I'd definitely be pretty positive afterwards. I think Shanks, whilst disappointed not to get the win, will definitely be happy with a lot of what she's seen on the pitch there. And yeah, definitely think 40 will see plenty of what he's used to seeing. Dominant from Charlie Maymans, dominant forward carries, and I think certainly makes sense that Hartpury have won the first women's BUCS Super Rugby fixture after their dominance in the Women's National League over the last few years.
Well, there's some beautiful tries amongst all of these. This to close out the first half, and it meant that the teams headed into the half-time huddles level at 12-all. This was a glorious burst from the replacement Kelsey Webster, who, in keeping with all of the Hartpury replacements, had a real impact. In fact, they might have just been the difference in that last quarter. No try came immediately there, but this was Hartpury linking up, and this was Lowry Davis stealing the leader, well, in the second half, before Edinburgh went down the other end, and they took it for the first time.
Yeah, at this point, if you're Edinburgh, you're really looking to capitalise and try and get that win, that precious win over Hartpury, as they show strength to get over the line there. And as you mentioned, through the boot of McRae, took the lead for the first time. But then it really was that depth you've alluded to from Hartpury, and they're able to assert that dominance off the bench, and were showed their class that they've had over the last few seasons. And with this group that's full of debuts, they're certainly looking strong going into the new season. So plenty to be positive about if you're 40.
Well, here was one of those replacements in Hannah Marshall, combining with one of the old favourites, Manns, and then Webster dotting down for her first WBSR try in red. And this arguably the pick of the bunch. Snappy hands, great execution, and Pritchard in for a double.
Yeah, Pritchard over for a second. It was a key for Hartpury's game today. We saw their wingers, their back three, able to finish off out wide excellently, and sort of take advantage of the dominance of their forwards pack, were able to provide them.
Right, in all of this as well, we've forgotten to select a player of the match, so we're going to have to put your head on the chopping block, I'm afraid, Gally.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough one to pick. I think from Edinburgh, you've seen excellent performances from the likes of Logan, Clark, Ramsey looked good at times in that 10 shirt, and we saw great leadership from Hannah Walker, who was excellent throughout. Hartpury off the bench, obviously we've alluded to Webster and Marshall being strong, but I think it's only right that probably the player of the last few years for the Women's National League showed her class once again today, and it might be the boring pick, but I think it's the correct one in that Charlie Manns was player of the match today.
So Charlie Manns of Hartpury, the player of the match, and in her leadership role in the circle that is so accustomed to glory, and they get their Women's BUCS Super Rugby campaign off to a winning start. This is our first stream of the season, but there is plenty of media to enjoy from BUCS Super Rugby and all of its channels throughout the season, and you can catch a glimpse of what happened at the media launch with a little bit of our behind the scenes.
Welcome to BUCS Super Rugby Media Day. This is behind the scenes. Good? Yeah. Right then.
No, all in one. Extra virgin organic.
Good job is we're very professional. We've been doing this for a long time. It's time to raise the game. It's time to raise the game. Probably. Come on, mate. Waiting upstairs to talk about Hartpury.
Behind the scenes for you and catch up on loads of the additional content on BUCS Super Rugby's channels. We are on Instagram, Twitter, X now, and TikTok, all the big ones, so come and catch us on there. Anyway, that was behind the scenes. This is the present right here, right now. I got player of the match, Charlie Manns. We're so used to seeing you get this award, but you saying to me just then, I shouldn't have got it.
No.
Who would you have given it to?
Anyone, really. I think all the girls worked hard. The girls coming off the bench gave brilliant impacts, but I think that second half really showed we can gel as a team, and when the going gets tough, we gel really well and we can bring a win to that.
Yeah, you know, courteously, you were looking a little bit rusty in the first 40 minutes. Is that a lack of cohesion from you, or is that the pressure that Edinburgh were applying to you?
All credits to Edinburgh. They were really good. They were a well-drilled team. For our girls, we haven't been together long, so that first hit out was a bit clunky, but in the second half was so much better and something clicked.
Yeah, and what do you think about the new faces? Because, you know, you've been around the BUCS block, you've got a few medals back at home, but you've got some new faces in here.
Yeah, the girls what have come up, I think we've had a few from college, a few from elsewhere, and they've really drove the standard. Like, they are driving us to be better because they are so good coming through.
What do you think about this WBSR business now that it's Super Rugby? Is it exciting for you, especially someone who's been on the Women's National League journey, and now you're getting like better referees and you're getting a bit more razzmatazz around it? Does it feel more important?
I think definitely just show like the pathway and from WNL to BSR, whatever it is. What is it?
WBSR.
Yeah, that's the one. Amy Dale. I've lost trail of thought. Aim. Yeah, I think it definitely is. It just shows we can, with all the live streams as well, we've got a few games live streamed. I think that we can put on a show, and more girls being able to watch women's rugby is definitely good.
Awesome. Right, I'm going to let you get off, Charlie, because you want to get with the gang, but you are the player of the match. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you later in the season. You're going to celebrate with the gang. You can stick with me. I'm going to get 40. Winning coach Andrew Ford. Congratulations in the end. No easy ride out there.
No, like I spoke about before the game, it's challenge character. Like, you can do as much pre-season as you want with a group of girls. Really, you don't know. You can do as much contact against each other, you can do as much fitness, but you don't know what they're going to bring to the table until you play an opposition and someone's really going after you. I couldn't be prouder of the group and the kind of performance and the tangibles that they showed in that second half to really dig deep, stay in the fight and come out on top. So I'm super happy right now.
Yes, interesting flow to the game from your perspective. Dream opening 60 seconds, burst through, get the score, sort of lay siege for 20, don't get anything from it. And probably the next 30 was Edinburgh's. But then, as you said, Hartpury rallied and they found a way to win it and win well in the end. So what are the good bits that you're taking from that?
The good bits is the fight that they showed, and actually some of the stuff that they created was really good. Going into half-time, we definitely got ourselves the wrong side of the referee for about 30 minutes with our discipline, and that's something we really had to iron out. But we fixed that, and then second half, I was pretty happy going in with a draw at half-time. You probably can't tell, it's quite windy one direction, so I was actually quite happy, given that we've got Charlie, Molly Bunker, some real good kickers in the team. We could probably try and get a bit more territory up pitch and force Edinburgh in, which we did second half, and really proud of kind of that resilience piece that they showed second half to put in a performance like that.
Big season to come. WBSR, we heard from you talking about it at the start. After today, pumped for it? Because, you know, it's a bit of an unknown quantity as well.
Yeah, I just said to the group then, like, you've got a decision to make now as a group. Either we can kind of go on as we're going, or you really, do you want to go and win it? Because if they do, then, you know they've got to get stronger, they've got to get fitter. It's a great starting point, but it's up to them as a group whether they want it. And looking into their eyes there in the circle, I reckon that they're up for it. It's now about, can we put it all together as a group, and let's see how we go this season.
Last thing, we're talking about elite sport, we're talking about reaching for the stars, but there's also the good old-fashioned rugby bonhomie in there, and it's a joint social between Hartpury and Edinburgh this evening, is that correct?
Personally, I wouldn't know. I think Shanks has stood me up. I think she said she's off with Scotland, so I think we'll go out for a few. I think they've arranged. There's obviously some crossover between squads. We've got Gemma Bow, who's from Edinburgh, so I think she's organised. I think we are going to have a little bit of a joint social together, which at the end of the day, that's what rugby's about, and that's why it's such a good sport, that we can all shake hands after a game and go and enjoy a drink together.
Lovely stuff. Go and enjoy that drink, and congratulations on the first ever win in Women's BUCS Super Rugby.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Cheers, 4D. There you have it, history made at the Hive, and a new dawn is upon BUCS Super Rugby. WBSR has launched, but it's the same old story. Hartpury victorious and the team to beat. You can join us for the rest of the season on the live stream. We'll be bringing you the men's BSR and the women's BSR all the way through to the thrilling finals that are coming later on in the season. But from all of us here in Edinburgh, from the Hive and from a history-making afternoon, it is good evening.